And we're away. Kia ora everybody, no mai, haere mai, welcome, kuhu mai, welcome to OMGTech's, our very last wānanga for Matariki. So my name is Matua Geoff, and today we are going to be making some stars in Scratch. So and I'm going to show you how to draw these stars as well. Now we have a very special guest with us today, and I'll wait for everybody to get here before we bring her in. She is the star. Hi Kim. Kia ora. Kia ora everyone. We have a very special guest star today. We are going to start off our wānanga though with a karakia. So everybody follow along with me. This karakia has actions. So I'll say the line and do the action, and then you follow along, okay? So it goes, mā te mōhio, ka marama. Mā te marama, ka matau. Mā te matau. No, I've stuffed it up. Ka ora. Hang on a tick. I need to get this right. Rongo. Mā te rongo. Ah, now I know what I did wrong. Okay, here we go. Let's start again. Take two. Doot, doot, doot. Here we go. Mā te mōhio. I did it again. Hang on a tick. Mā te rongo. Ka mōhio. Mā te mōhio. Ka marama. Mā te marama. Ka matau. Mā te matau. Ka ora. Oh, thank goodness. After take three. So that means from listening comes knowledge. From knowledge comes understanding. From understanding comes wisdom, and from wisdom comes well-being. All right, fantastic. So I'm super excited about our little workshop today, because we have got Miss Nikki from Miss Nikki Says YouTube channel to come and help us celebrate Matariki, to sing the Matariki song, Te Iwa o Matariki. So everybody give a big paki paki to Miss Nikki. Kia ora, Miss Nikki. Welcome.
Kia ora tātou.
Where are you coming in from today?
Actually, I live in the sunny Gold Coast.
In Australia?
Yes, I'm in Australia, but my heart is always in Aotearoa. So it's beautiful to see all of our friends today.
Oh, beautiful. Now you have a video on YouTube where you're singing and doing actions to the Matariki song, which is kind of like the Macarena. Is that right?
Right, and for what I hear, a lot of our tamariki and whānau at home are using it.
I can see them. Yeah, I can.
To help us practice the names of ngā whetū. So it's a really good tool to help us remember the names so we can celebrate Matariki together.
Yeah, I find it really useful. I know that in different parts of New Zealand, there's different iwi kind of recognize different stars. So sometimes it's 7 stars, sometimes it's 9, and even with ruanga, it's just 1 star. But for your song, we're doing all 9 stars, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And the reason I've done 9 stars is because Dr. Rangi Matamua references the 9 stars of Matariki. So I base a lot of my mahi on his mahi. So we're going with the 9 stars in this song, which is quite relevant for the time, I think.
Ka pai. And I find it so useful for remembering the words. And so How should we do this? Do you want to play it and we can sing along and do the actions with you?
Let's do that. So I'm going to bring up the song, and all of my friends there, if you know the actions, follow along.
Yeah, everybody, Etu, if you want to. Etu, I'm going to stand up.
And can I have a big wave from my friends? Hello, everybody. It's beautiful to see you. So are you ready? We'll do a quick practice. We go, waiti, waita, waipunarangi, tipua nuku, tipua rangi, ururangi, Pohutukawa, hiwaete rangi, matariki. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, beautiful. Let's go, friends. Hopefully we can all hear this. You ready?
Yep.
Waiti, waita, waipunarangi, tipua nuku, tipua rangi, ururangi, Pohutukawa, hiwaete rangi, matariki. Waiti, waita, waipunarangi, tipua nuku, tipua rangi, ururangi, Pohutukawa, hiwaete rangi, matariki. Waiti, waita, waipunarangi, tipua nuku, tipua rangi, ururangi, Pohutukawa, hiwaete rangi, matariki. Waiti, waita, waipunarangi, tipua nuku, tipua rangi, ururangi, Pohutukawa, hiwaete rangi, matariki.
Bye, Tato. Bye, friends. Good job. Good job, everybody.
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Nikki, for coming in and making our day today. That was so great to start the lesson with something so exciting.
That's good. You all have a beautiful day. Bye, everyone. Bye, friends.
Ka kite. Thank you, Miss Nikki. Ka kite. All right, everybody. So what we are going to do now, we're not going to get into coding or computers just yet, because we're going to actually draw a star with our hands. So you will need a bit of paper and a pen or a pencil. Do you have that? Has anybody got? Go and get those. I'll give you a few minutes and I'll get myself set up too. So let's see, what have I got here? I'll just pause that and I'll go over here and I'll jump to my other camera, which is hopefully, here we go. My camera here, here's my hand. Can you see it okay? All right, cool. So I know that I can jump to that. So I will jump back now and see how you are all doing. All right, so bit of paper, a pen. Now, today we are going to draw a 5-pointed star, both on Scratch and in real life using a pen and paper. So what you need to do is make kind of like a claw, like a dinosaur with one hand. Because we've got 5 fingers on our hand, we can make 5 little points. So I'm going to switch to my other camera and grab, let's just check that this is working. Yes. Okay, so I get my hand and position it and kind of make it into like a spider. And then I'm going to put a little dot next to each finger. Once I've got it positioned, go right round, make a little dot. There we go. So you should end up with 5 dots. Ignore this one here. That's not, I'll just make that a big mess, scribbly mess. Okay, so I've got 5 dots here. Now, if I connect the dots around the outside, if I draw a line around the outside, and I just go to the next one like this, I make a shape called a pentagon. Pent usually means 5, pentagon. So to draw a star with a 5-sided star, instead of drawing to one of the closest point on the star, we draw across to the next one. So we skip one of these points. And we go in the same way every time. So I'm going to go around to my left, anti-clockwise. So I'm going to draw across to this one. And now I need to skip the next star here and go to this one. So I'll draw across to there. And I do the same thing again. So I'm going to skip one and go to this one. Cross, and 2 more times, skip and go to this one. And then the final time, skip this point and go over to this one. And I can now color it in and make it look super awesome. Here we go. So this same process is what we are going to do in a program called Scratch. So once you've got that, hang on to that, because we are going to come back to it a little bit later. Once we've drawn our star, we're going to be thinking about Matariki and what Matariki means to us. But for now, I want to get into actually doing the coding and the drawing on the computer using Scratch. So you will need a computer or an iPad now. So make sure that you can go and get that if you need. I'll give you a couple of minutes to get set up, because I can see you're all running. And while you're doing that, I will see if I can get my computer set up. Oh, there I am. Perfect. There's me. In fact, while you're getting that all set up, what I might do is share a video. It's a video of Dr. Rangi Matamua, which Miss Nikki mentioned. And it's a video where he talks about the stars of Matariki. So while you're getting set up, let me share my screen and play that for you.
So this image is an image of the cluster. Here you can see the 9 stars and an artistic interpretation of what they look like, or how Māori perceive the stars to be. There is the mother, or the central star within Matariki, which is the name, also holds the name Matariki, and around her are her 8 children. Now each and every one of these children brings a bounty, or brings something that is important to us as Māori, or us here in Aotearoa, that makes our world function. So Matariki is the mother. Her husband, or her partner, is Rehua, which is the great star Antares within Scorpius, and they have 8 children, and like I said before, every one of them brings a bounty, or is the holder of some particular element that makes up our world or makes our world function. And I'm going to go through each and every one of these stars just to give you an overview of the star itself within the cluster and the role it plays. So the eldest star within the cluster is Pohutukawa. Now this is a star that's connected to the dead of the year and carries our dead across the night sky, night after night, month after month. I'll come back to Pohutukawa. The next star is Tipu Anuku. Tipu means to grow, Anuku in the ground. And this is a star that's connected to all of the bounty or all of the vegetables that we grow in our gardens. Everything that comes out of the soil has an association to Tipu Anuku. Next is Tipu Arangi, means to grow in the sky. And this has a strong connection to all of the birds that we traditionally harvested and ate throughout the year, and also everything that grows above our heads. Waiata is fresh water, and Waiata is the star that will let you know how healthy your rivers and streams are going to be for the impending year, whether or not there'll be lots of eels, freshwater crayfish, and freshwater fish that were caught and harvested throughout the year. And the star that's closely associated to Waiata is Waiata. Waiata means salt water, and is the star that has a strong association to all of the creatures that are harvested out of the ocean. The next star is Waipunarangi. Waipunarangi means the water that pools in the sky, and this is a star that's associated to the rains of the year. And right beside Waipunarangi is Ururangi. Ururangi is connected to the winds, and will let you know how strong the winds are going to be in the impending year. And the last star in the cluster is Hiwei-te-rangi. Hiwei-te-rangi is the star upon which Māori believed would help their wishes come true. So during the rising of Matariki in the correct time, Māori would send their wishes into the sky to Hiwei-te-rangi in particular, in the hope that they would. Now, if you're looking at.
All right, so we're going to be thinking about Hiwei-te-rangi today. But for now, what I want you to do now that you're all ready and set to go is go and open up a tab in Google Chrome in your web browser and type Scratch, SCRATCH. And if you type that in, hopefully you should see something come up that says Scratch, Imagine, Program, Share. Now, if you already have a Scratch account, that's great. If your teacher has given you an account, that's great. You can sign in. But otherwise, we can just click on Start Creating, this button here, or Create at the top. So it pops up with some tutorials here that we can close, and we can always look at those later. But for now, let's have a look at this space. So this is Scratch, and this is Scratchcat. I'll just give you a quick tour of where everything is so you know what everything does. I know that some of you will have already used Scratch, so please just be patient with me. So this area where there's a Scratchcat here is what we call the stage. This is where whatever we program or whatever we create, this is where it appears. And we can change the size of that stage, even go full screen by clicking these icons in the top right-hand corner. This cat here, Scratchcat, is what we call a sprite. And a sprite can be a character like Scratchcat, or it can actually be some other kind of image. You can find other sprites by clicking on Choose a Sprite down the bottom here, and going and grabbing other things like bears or beach balls. There's some options here where you can pick out different things. In my case, we're going to be drawing today. So I think I might search for a star. I'll grab this star and I'll delete Scratch Cat by clicking on Scratch Cat and clicking on this little icon that looks like a trash can or a rubbish bin. It's got a little X on it. If I click that, it deletes Scratch Cat. Now I can change the name of the star in this area here. I can hide it and turn it back on so I can see it. I can change the size by changing the number here. In fact, hang on a tick, let me just change how big my screen is. There we go. So if I change this number from 100 to say, oh, actually, that might be a bit small. Let's go 60. You can see it makes the star smaller. And also you might notice that as I drag it around, the numbers here, the X and the Y, change. So X means going from left to right. You can see if I drag it over this way, the X is negative. And if I drag it over to the right, it's positive. If I drag it down the bottom, the Y is negative. And if I drag it up the top, the Y is positive. So Y is up and down, X is left and right. We might need that a little bit later, possibly. Over this side is where we do lots of coding. There's 3 tabs at the top here. One for costumes. So this is where we can do some painting. We can change the colors of our star if we like. And there's also sounds that we can put in here. But we're not actually going to use the star. I'm going to use the star to draw a star, a 5-pointed star. We're going to use geometry and maths to draw a big star. And we're going to use these coding blocks. So these blocks, there's lots of different colors of these blocks, and they fit together a little bit like Lego. So the block that we often start with is one called when the flag is clicked. And that's the block that you are going to need today to start off with. Now, if I drag this out and make it a little bit bigger, you might notice that it's got a round or a bump on the top. Every time you see a bump on top of a block, that means that it's a starting block. So there's other starting blocks here when this sprite is clicked, when a particular key on a keyboard is pressed. But today we'll just use when the green flag is clicked. Now, where's the green flag? It's up the top here. There's a green flag and a red stop flag. Okay, so what was the first thing that we did when you drew that star? First of all, we had to pick up a pen, right? So we need to find a pen. So in Scratch, there's something called a pen extension, and it lives down the bottom left side where there's this blue and white shape. And if you hover over it, it says add extension. If you click on that, it should pop up with a couple of different extensions: music, pen, video sensing, text-to-speech, translate, all sorts of interesting stuff. But today we are going to use the pen. So click the pen and look at this. We suddenly have a pen drawer where it's got lots of different blocks all related to using a pen. So the first one that we're going to get is this pen down, because when we drew the star, we put the pen down on the paper. So pick up and drag the pen down and drag and drop it just next to underneath the when the flag is clicked event block. Now the computer in Scratch reads your code from top to bottom. So it starts at the top and looks at when the flag is clicked, put the pen down. Okay, so now actually, I've never tried this before. Oh, it did make a little mark. It did. Let me try that again. Oh, yep, makes little marks. The pen looks quite small. So the next thing that we did when we drew the star was we moved our hands along. Now we don't have a hand. Our hand inside Scratch is this star sprite. So we need to make the star move. So to do that, we are going to use the motion, the blue motion category of code that's right at the top. And we can use this very first blue block that's there called move 10 steps. And drag that and drop that underneath. Now you can notice that these blocks kind of fit together. They don't have that bump on the top. So they fit together quite easily. There's also a number here, and this number is editable, which means that you can change it. So change it to maybe 100 or 150 or something like that. And then test your code by clicking the green flag. Oh, look at that. It drew a line. So it moved my star 100 steps in a particular direction, which is great. That's kind of what I need. I need a line to go in one direction. What happens if I click the star again? Oh, it keeps drawing. Oh, and it almost goes off the page. But I think what I want to do is reset my star and put it back to where it was. I mean, I can drag it back and click again and it will just draw. But what we might do is reset it. So the first thing I want to do is rub out all the pen that was there. So to do that, I'm going to click on the pen category, the pen drawer, and grab this first block, erase all. That means remove everything. Now I'm going to put this block actually right at the beginning. Now watch what happens when I try to drag it in. See how the code automatically moves down and there's a shadow behind it? That shadow tells me that I can drop my code in there. So now when I click the flag, it's going to erase everything, put the pen down, and then move 100 steps. So I'll reposition my star. Perfect. I might need to move my star back into the middle of the screen again too. So to do that, it's related to movement, so motion. So I'll go back to the motion drawer and I'm going to get a block called go to XY. Go to XY. And put that right at the beginning or just after the erase all. And I'm going to change it to 0 and 0. Oops, 0 for the X, 0 for the Y, which should put it right in the middle of my screen. Let's try that. Ooh. Yep, that worked. What happens if I put it over here? Interesting. It left a little line there. All right. So now what we need to do to draw our next line is actually get our star to turn around. Now I might try, let me think. What I'm going to do is just go back to my mobile camera and I'll get a stone or a, what have I got here that I could move around with? Oh, I've got a little stone here. Can you see that? It's not quite. What about this? That's, I need something else. Something with direction. Really, I'd like a little car. I know, here we go. Here's a little telephone. Okay. My telephone is going to be my sprite, okay? So I've put the telephone down and I draw along this line. It moves down 100 steps and it's going this way. Imagine it's like a car. And now I need to go and draw this line here. So in order to do that, the pen is at the front. So I actually have to turn in order to get ready to draw the next one. And then I can go 100 steps. And then I need to turn again, turn around and draw this way. And then turn, and then draw, turn, draw, and turn. And then I'm back to the beginning. So every time we need to do a little bit of a turn. So fortunately, we have a turn block in our motion category here called turn 15 degrees. What's a degree? And why is it 15? Well, there are what we call 360 degrees in a circle. So we can divide it, we traditionally divide a circle up into 360 different little segments. And so 180, half of that is half a circle, and 90 degrees is a quarter of a circle. And so we need to kind of divide this circle, this 360 degrees, by the number of points in our star, which is 5. So what's 360 divided by 5? Anybody know? Well, I don't know, and I'm not going to try and work it out. I'm going to let the computer work it out for me, because there are some math operators in here. In the green operators drawer, what I need to do is go and grab this block here. It's got 2 little spaces in it, and it's got like a slash, a forward slash, which means divide. If you've ever done fractions in maths, you'll know that 1 divided by 2, and if I click this now, it tells me the answer, 0.5. So what is 10 divided by 2? It's 5. Okay, so what's 360 divided by 5? The answer is, whoops, 72. So I could write 72 into here, but actually what I can do is just drag this green block into the space. When it lights up like that with a little white ring around the outside, it is ready and it can be dropped in. So now it's going to turn, and then I need it to move 100 steps again. So I'll go back to my motion category and get the move 100 steps. I'll type in 100 because I want it to have the same distance. And I'll test that. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Now I need to do this 5 times, okay? But, so I need to go and get this, the turn block and the operators block again, and I need to type in 360 and 5 again. It's just going to draw the same thing. Oh, it did something a little bit different there. But actually, this is the hard way to do it. The easy way is to use what we call a loop. So I'm going to take these 2 bits that I just put in there and drop them back into my coding drawer, because I only need these 2 plus a special control block. So an orange control block that is called repeat. Now this repeat block has a very interesting shape. You can see here that it's got like a top and a bottom, and it's like it's hands. If you imagine they are hands and they're waiting to hold something, they are waiting to hold the code that you want to repeat. So you can actually just, if you're a bit clever and tricky, you can move it around so that it covers the code that you want to repeat like that. Otherwise, what you can do is just take it out here and then move that code and drop it in and reconnect it like that. So I'm not going to repeat it 10 times. I'm going to repeat it 5 times. So let's see what this looks like. Ooh, that's a bit interesting. I think when it gets to the end, I forget to pick up my pen when I go back. So I'm going to go back to my pen category and grab the pen up. So that's where we lift the pen up at the end. Once we're all done, I lift the pen up. Hey presto, I am done. Let's see what happens now. So it's not drawing a star yet, but it's drawing that shape that we first drew on the paper. Anybody remember what it's called? A pentagon. That's right. Pent means pentatonic scale, is 5 notes in a scale. Pentagon has 5 sides and 5 points. So remember the trick that we used to draw the star. Instead of going to the nearest next point, we skipped one and we went over to the next point there. So instead of doing 1/5 of the 360 degrees, we need to turn twice, essentially. So we turn to go to that first star, and then we turn again, or the first point of the star, and then we turn again to go to the next one. Now, again, we don't need to work out how much that is. I think we can use the math operators inside Scratch. So when we need 2 of something, we are multiplying. Now, the multiplication symbol, when you write it on paper, normally we would use an X, like a little X to show 2 times 10. It would be 2x10. And that's a little multiplication symbol. But in computer land, we use a little star, or an asterisk, it's called. It's an official name. This one here. So it's something multiplied by 2. So in the last space of this multiplication symbol, I'm going to type in 2. But what I want to put in here is this block, the other block that we've already used. So now I'm going to drag this into the first space. See how it just lit up then? Oh, that's the wrong one. It's that one. Now if I drop it, look at that. Now if I click on it, it's telling me 144 degrees is what it needs to turn. So now I can put this back into place and test it. Let's go. Oh, I'm a bit excited. I'm going to go full screen for this to test it out. Right, 3, 2, 1. Hey! Woohoo! Oh, I hope yours was as good as mine. I'm quite excited about that. I love it when computers do things really accurately and predictably. How did you get on? Did it work? Oh, well done. Yay, kapai. Hey, karawe. Nice work. Awesome work, team. Nice one. Well, now we can make our star our own. Okay. So now we can play with it a little bit. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to your paper just really quickly. I'll go back to mine as well. Let me bring up my other camera. Go back to your paper, and I just want you to write down. I mentioned that we were focusing on Hiwaiterangi. Hiwaiterangi is the god or the star that Maori send all their wishes to, or their dreams and goals. And so at this time of year, as is with the new year sometimes you might have heard your parents talk about New Year's resolutions, and a resolution is a fancy term for a goal or a dream. So what I want you to write down is, and have a think, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, is have a think about what's something that you would like to do in the next year. Okay. What's your goal for the next year? Or dreams? You can have more than one. You could have a dream or a goal for each point on your star if you wanted to. So let me think about my goals and dreams. I want to do more workshops, more cool online workshops like this, so that I get to hang out with you and share some of my knowledge. That's one thing that I'd really like. What's another thing? Or I want to kōrero in te reo Māori more. So speak te reo. I'm pretty good at reading te reo Māori, but I need more opportunities to talk, to kōrero in te reo Māori. So those are my 2 goals. You might have 1, you might have 2, you might have 5, you might have 10. Doesn't matter. Just write them down so that you have something that you can focus on as we are thinking about our special star here. So we're going to make our star a little bit special. First of all, we're going to color our star. So to color it, to change the color, because the color is just kind of a bit blue at the moment, go to the pen drawer and grab the set pen color. This one here, set pen color to something, 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 and put it somewhere near the top. Whoops, mine fell in there. I'll put it up a little bit further before the pen down maybe. And then click the color to select the color that you want. So when you're selecting the color, think about, does one of your goals or your dreams have a particular color? So for me, if I think about the workshops, for me, workshops are kind of a yellow color, and they're bright yellow. I want it really bright. Let me see if something like that. I think that color is what I'd like. Let me test it. Yep. But I can't see it very well. It's quite faint. So I think I need a fatter pen, a thicker pen. So now I'm going to change the pen size. There's a block right at the bottom of the pens called set pen size. So I'm going to drag that into my space, and what should I set it to? 5? Let me try 5, see what that looks like. Yeah, that's all right. Let's go 10. What does 10 look like? Woo, I quite like that. What about 20? I think that might be a bit fat. Oh, but actually that looks quite nice. I quite like that. What happens if we go 30? Oh, it's a cute little roundy star. That's so cute. I quite like that. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep it at that size. I've never done that before in that shape. In fact, it looks very similar to my Sprite star. Maybe I need to hide my Sprite star at the end. Now there is hiding and showing. I can do that down the bottom here in the Sprite area. I can hide it and show it, but I can also do it with code by clicking on the purple looks drawer and scrolling down a little bit to these small blocks called show and hide. So all I need to do is hide it at the end. There's my star. Now, what if I want to make my star bigger? What would I need to do to make it bigger? Any ideas? I would need to change the number of steps that I move. So I've got 100 at the moment. Let's see what happens if I put in 200. Ooh, gets a bit bigger. The placement is not quite so good either. It's not where I want it to be. What I might do is show my sprite. I think it needs to be about here if I'm going to have it that big. I might go and get... Now, the cool thing about the go to X and Y block is that wherever you place your sprite, it fills in the X and Y coordinates. So now, there we go. It's not too bad. I can always move it and copy the coordinates over. So if I wanted to move it over, you can see here that the X has changed to 65. So I can change this to 65 and the Y has changed to negative 88. So I'll put 88 and do that. Actually, hang on a minute. Let me just check. I just want to see the time. So it's 11:30. So we've got half an hour to go, which is great. So I've got my star and I quite like the little pattern. It's like it's got a little pentagon in the middle. Did you notice that? Look at this. There's a pentagon in the middle and it's got a little bit on the outside. That's a happy coincidence. Sometimes you get little things like that when you're messing around with code. You can come up with little things which are actually really cool. All right, I'm going to put a background on because I don't want it to be white. I want my star to be at night. So to do that, I am going to go to click on this stage area. Oh, actually, hang on a tick. You probably can't see it. Let me get rid of my face. And down the bottom here in the stage area, if you click on the stage area and the backdrop, and then go to the backdrops tab, which is a little bit like the costume tab for sprites. What I'm going to do, this light space here is the backdrop. A backdrop traditionally in a theatre is a big canvas or a big bit of cloth that they would draw a painting on and have that at the back of the theatre so it looked like people were somewhere different. So I'm going to, let me think, I'm going to go and click on the rectangle icon and click on the green color or the fill up at the top and make it black, make it dark. Then I'm going to click and drag outside this box so that it's completely covered, and then let go, and voila, look at that. Got a beautiful star there with a black backdrop. I'm really happy with that. Now, you might like to write something on the backdrop. You can if you like. You can use the text tool, which is that T sign here. So if I wrote something, for example, more workshops, I might say my goal is more workshops. So that color's okay. There's different fonts here at the top. I could do it in pixel font or marker. I'll do it in marker font. So I just click in this space and then type. So I'll type my goal or dream for the next year is to do more workshops. Oops, I've gone off the page. I might have to, what I'll do is come back a little bit, and now I can't see where I am. There. Next year is to do more workshops online. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Then I can click on the select arrow here and just move it around to wherever I want it. I can put it down the bottom here. I can even drag this thing to change the angle of it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I could put text all around if I wanted to. I could even record myself saying it and then code it. I'll just quickly show you how to do that. So for example, I go down the bottom left here and go to record, which is the microphone icon. And then I'd say, what did I say? My dream for the new year is to do more workshops online. And then I can use this bit to trim it. So it cuts off the start and at the end, and then save and call that my dream. And then code it. So I would go to events, and also when the green flag is clicked, I want to play my sound, which is in the sound drawer. Play my sound, my dream until done. I was close. It was supposed to be next year. I could go and change that. I'll change this to new. There we go. New Year's to do more workshops online. All right. That is pretty cool. But what if we wanted to do more stars than just one? We might have to repeat all this code, which would be really, oh, that would take us, what, another hour to work through it all? I would just need to kind of move to a random spot and draw another star. So we could actually use a repeat block, just like we did last time, or we could make our own block called Draw a Star and put our code in it. Let me show you how to do that. In the My Blocks drawer, the red My Blocks drawer, right at the bottom, near where the pen is, there are no blocks in there because it's just for blocks that we make. So I'm going to click Make a Block. And when I do that, it says, oh, what block name do you want? What's your code that your block, what does your block do? And mine is going to draw a star. So I'll type draw a star, and that's all I need to do. Ooh, so now I've got a draw a star block here, and I've got a new starting block where I need to decide or tell it what my block is going to do. So all the code that I want to have that draws a star, I can put into here. So it's pretty much all this code, I think. Pin down, set point star, yeah, hide. So now now that we've got this draw a star code and block, all I need to do is put draw a star down here. And in fact, I could do another one, or I could move somewhere. Where should I? I could go to a random position and draw another star. Like that. Let's see what that looks like. Stop that. Ooh, it's a bit funny how it kind of went all squiggly when it hit the side. Not sure if there's a way around that. What if I wanted to do 10 stars? Do you remember that there's a really easy way to do things over and over and over again? We've already done it over here, where we repeated something 5 times. I just go and get a repeat block out of the orange control category. This one says repeat 10 times. And all I need to do is put it around, go to a random position and draw a star. I might change the size of my pen though, because otherwise it might look a bit funny. Let me change it to 5. And ooh, look at that. I'll make it a bit smaller. Move 100 steps. So what if I wanted, so I'm kind of happy with the stars. Maybe I need to make them a little bit smaller, maybe 60. I'm getting a bit sick of that sound now. I think I'm going to just separate it for the moment while I'm testing. I'll put it
Jeff,
back to
I think we can't hear your sound actually. That's why I didn't notice you are playing sound all the time.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Hang on a tick. Oh, of course, because I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, do it via the normal screen share. Thanks, Sure. Okay, that's all good. Okay, so what if I wanted different colored stars? Not just one color, but lots of different colors. Well, I could use the change pen color block that's in the pen drawer. And every time I draw a star, I would change the color instead of setting the color. So I'll take out this set pen color and put in change pen color by 10 and see what happens. Look at that. Multicolored stars. I love it. So all I needed to do was use this change pen color by 10 and take out the set pen color that was there. What else could I do? What about different sizes of star? Oh, actually, if you've had enough, you can stop there. Like what you've done already today is amazing. But for those of you who would like an extra challenge, I'm going to do something now that is super, super, super challenging. Who's up for it? Raise your hand if you're up for a super challenging thing. Yeah, okay, good on you. Okay, what we are going to do is make not just a 5-sided star, but like any odd numbered shape star. Because the only things that we need to change is the number of times that we draw, we repeat, and the number of sides. These two things here are the same. But actually, we do also have to change this number here as well. So let's just, the trick is that you have to divide, you have to subtract 1 from the number of sides and then divide by 2. And that's what this number is here at the end. Let me give you an example. So 5 minus 1 is what? 4, right? 4 divided by 2, or half of 4, is 2. And that's why we have 2 here. Now, if we were doing 7, a 7-pointed star, we need to take away 1. 7 minus 1 is 6. And half of 6 is 3. Okay, so let's try inputting that. I'll put 7 in here, 7 in the degrees area, and 3 in the multiplication, and then press play. Ooh, look at that. I'll go full screen. So now that's a 7-sided star. So that's the algorithm. That's the rule that we always have to subtract 1 and then divide by half to get the number here. So what I'm going to do is make something called a variable. And I'm going to store the number of sides or the number of points, maybe I'll call it points, in this variable. This will make it easier for us to play around with. So you'll notice that under the operators drawer, there is a drawer called variables. And a variable is like a box that we can give a name and then put some kind of value in it. Like we could put some text or a number. So click on make a variable. And I'm going to call it points. So this is the number of points on my star, and click OK. Now you'll see that there's a points value here. And now I can drag out the set my variable to 0. I'm going to put that maybe at the top of my star block. And then click on the little triangle, the little arrow that's next to my variable, and select points. So the value that I'm going to put in my points variable, my points box, is 7. So now instead of writing 7 twice here, I can go, it's already in my box. So I just set it once here, and then I can go and grab this round shape, which contains whatever's in the variable in the box, and put it into these round spaces where I've got a 7. Set points to 7, repeat points, and divide by points. So hopefully it should do exactly the same thing when I test it, and it's working. But what happens if I change the points now to 9? We're going for a 9-sided star. And if I click the flag, ooh, we get lots of triangles. There's a reason for that. And the reason is we haven't followed our special rule about the number of times we need to turn. It's no longer 3 times. Remember, you have to take the number of points, subtract 1, minus 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. And then you have to divide it by 2. Half of 8 is 4. So now if I put 4 in here, there's our 9-sided star. But instead of changing this every time, I can put my mathematical rule in here. So remember, it was points minus 1 multiplied by, or no, divided by 2. Okay, so I'm going to go to the operators and get the subtraction or the minus operator. And we are minusing 1 from points, right? The number of points. So now I can go back to the variables drawer and grab the points value, the round points value, and drop it in. So now it's points minus 1. So in this case, it's 9 minus 1, which will give us 8. All that's left to do is divide it by 2. So we've already used the divide block before. So it's got that slash, that forward slash on it. So I'll drag that into my coding space. And we're going to divide by 2. Now, what are we going to divide by 2? Well, everything that is in here. So I need to very carefully drop this into the first round space like that. And now I need to drop this into where the 4 is. So it's multiplied by this. Oh my goodness. That's such a long equation. 360 divided by points multiplied by points minus 1 divided by 2. So that was tricky. That is tricky. But it allows us to do something very cool. It allows us to set any odd number for the number of points on the star. So now I could, instead of 9, I could put 19. Let's see what that looks like. A 19-sided star. Whoa. Woo, look at that. Pretty. Did you know that Scratch could do cool things like that? That's very cool. So I've got a couple of things to show you before we finish. We're 8 minutes away from finishing, 8 minutes away from 12 o'clock, and we need to have a closing karakia as well. So what I want to show you now is how to save your Scratch project if you are not signed in already to Scratch. So the way that we can do this is that we save our project as a file. We download the file, the project file, by going up to the blue menu up the top where it says File. We click on that and click Save to your computer. So it's going to download a file to your computer, and it's going to save it as a particular project. So when I click on it now, I can see down the bottom here, it says Scratch Project 9.sb3. SB3 is the file extension name for Scratch projects. So now that I have it on my computer, the next time I come to Scratch, so I'm going to leave this now. Yes, believe it or not, I'm going to leave, and it's gone now. It's absolutely gone. But because I have the file on my computer, I can click on Create again. Close that. Here we are back at the beginning. But wait, now I can click on the file in the blue menu and load from my computer. And you can't see this, but it brings up a way to look at my computer, and I select the file that I downloaded. Ta-da! It's back. Now I have my awesome Matariki project. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you. The second thing is, and I just need to search, I think I need to search for it. Let's see if it comes up. I have a template for Matariki stars. No, it's not showing it. I will need to sign in and give you the link to this project that I have. which has got, it's a nice little template which you can remix if you are logged into Scratch. And I'll just show you what it looks like inside. It's just a whole lot of different backdrops that you can use for Matariki projects, which have got all the different. So this one is the 7 stars of Matariki. This one is the 9 stars, the gods and their names. So you can use that if you like. I'll put the link into the chat for your teacher. And I'll also put a link to, whoops, let me jump out here. I'll put this into, where's my chat? There's the Scratch project teachers. Kaiakoa, I've just put it into the chat. And I also wanted to tell you about the Matariki course that we have on our ākonga wharenui. So you can do not just the Scratch Stars project and work through it, but there are other games and things that you can do in Scratch here on our ākonga wharenui. And I'll put that into the chat for Kaiakoa as well. And if you like, you can, your students, you can all sign up to it and have a look at it and work through some of those things yourself. All right, everybody, I think it is about time for maybe for you to show me some of your projects. Anybody want to share quickly before lunch? Anybody want to share their Matariki project? If not, kia hatia, it's okay. We will just have a karakia and to finish off. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. If you can't fly, happy Matariki, let your dreams be wings. That is gorgeous. I love it. Oh, nice work. I like all the stars that you've put in the background there. Have a nice Matariki. Yeah, Manawatia Matariki is awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll just close with a wee karakia. And let me just remove this and put spotlight myself. There I go. All right, so here we go. Kia whakairea te tapu, kia wātea ai te ara, kia taruki whakataha ai, kia taruki whakataha ai, haumie, huie, tāiki. Kia ora, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. Have a wonderful Matariki. And I was just going to tell you, we are actually going to do 2 more workshops in the last week of this term. As a Matariki, we're going to do a Matariki wrap party. So you can tell us all about what happened during your Matariki. But we'll send out some information about that. Okay. Ka kite, everybody. Have an awesome day. Can we get some big waves for everybody? See you all soon. Have a great day. Ka kite.